Is JaVale McGee becoming a bit of a problem for the Hawks right now? This is me just posing a question because JaVale McGee hasn't looked as dominant as he once did, and we are only like 10 or 11 games into the season, and the Hawks are still fighting to even get to like above 500 wins. This was also posted by Pleb this morning, which doesn't help his situation. But I also want to point out that the man's like 37 years old, so to expect him to be like as dominant every single game for like 30 game stretch, like playing 30 minutes a night is a lot to ask, especially for like an older center. Like you see guys like Chris Goulding who's the same age and he's only averaging just over 20 minutes a game just because he can come in for spurts and do his thing and then hop off the court. JaVale McGee doesn't have that kind of luxury right now, considering Sam Froling isn't in the lineup because of the injuries and the can't really rely too much on Harry Froling. Jonah Bolden's also out at the moment, so he's kind of expected to do a lot more. So this isn't me trying to like knock on JaVale McGee saying that he's washed or whatever, but this is just like pointing out because he hasn't looked as good as he has the last few games. But I also think the Kings kind of figured out how to defend him, and which is one of the things that Kings seem to do best is figuring out how to defend these stars. And every other team is doing what you would do when you see a team actually figuring out how to defend these kind of players. They're going to copy the recipe and do whatever they can to get the same result. And the 36ers did that last night. Also didn't help that Bryce Cotton absolutely popped off with like 33 points and 11 assists, even though he was going through his own things, which I think is just it's just his own things. Like I don't think people need to read too much into it. He apparently he's going through some personal drama, so I think everyone should just leave him be. I don't know why it was such a big thing in the commentary. You could see he's visibly not well, so like you didn't have to keep him as a focal point. But let's get back to McGee. Like these last two games, still not great. It did look like it was looking a bit better with Davo Hickey, but there lies another problem: the fact that Davo kind of needs to get into the paint and JaVale needs to be in the paint. But once JaVale gets out of the paint and he tries to shoot like mid ranges, that is not JaVale McGee's game. Like he got 1-3 once or twice, and now he thinks he can shoot the three every now and again, which should not be the case. And it doesn't really surprise me that he's like butting heads with teammates. He is a big personality. He's probably got a bit of an ego, which fair enough. You know, he spent over 10 years in the NBA. He's got a bunch of championships. So, like, of course, he's going to have an opinion on things, and that does rub some players the wrong way, especially if you're coming to a championship winning roster that had an identity and now they can't play with their identity because that doesn't really fit the way that JaVale McGee plays. But these are just a few things that I've noticed. I don't think this is the end of the world for JaVale McGee or like the Hawks or anything. I do think they will bounce back. I think once Sam Froling comes back, like everything like will look a lot better, and Jonah Bolden as well. Like you kind of need your bigs to help out your main big, but we will see. Anyway, Hawks fans, how are you feeling about after last night's game? Like, what do you think is going to happen in the future for you guys?